YouTube vinyl community, Dhani Harrison fans, random people on the internet, my name is Giggens, and we're here today to talk about Dhani Harrison's brand new solo album, In Parallel. It's on CD. I don't have the record yet, because it's hard to come by where I live, and I don't feel like buying it online right now. Eventually, I probably will. This is actually the first album by Dhani under his own name. Pretty cool. I read that he's 39 years old, which I knew he was around in his mid to late 30s, but every article I read about this was like, he's 39. Let's just let people know that. So he's 39. Just want to put that out there. This is his first solo album under his own name. He's previously worked with his band, The New Number 2, and you can see them right here. This album came out about 10 years ago, and I'm a big fan of this album. So when I don't think I have the second one. There's a second album by them too. I don't think I have that, but this is an awesome album. It took me a long time to get into. It was kind of a slow grower for me at that time. And I think I was ready for this one because of having gone through this one. But this is a great album too. So check that out. That one's just called You Are Here. You Are Here. Anyways, Dhani Harrison is the son of the late George Harrison, and the two of them have so much in common with their vocal range. It's awesome. I love hearing Dhani's voice because it sounds like George, but it sounds like Dhani as himself too. He's got his own flavor, he's got his own thing going on, and that's what makes him so interesting to listen to because it's familiar, but it's also new territory. So it's almost like maybe what George Harrison would do if he were doing it now. I love this album. I think it's a fantastic album. And let's just jump right into it. So this is released on Hot Records, Henry on Thames Records. And first off, I love the cover. He's doing this hand thing, like a pine cone shape, because there's pine cones on the cover. And you get this cool face, and there's the CD there. But yeah, so this album overall is kind of a slow burn, and there's moments of tension and anxiety and darkness, light. It's all over the place, and that's what keeps me coming back to it. It's very interesting, and there are so many layers on this album that the more you listen to these things, the more they get stuck in your head, and the more you're like, oh, I missed that the last time. It's an album that, for me, I feel like it's going to be around for a long time, where music doesn't have to be instantly catchy or instantly, here's everything laid out on the table, try this out. So the album opens up with a song called Never Know, and it's got really cool, like, fast-paced strings, really fuzzy synths, this really, like, gurgling atmosphere. Dhani's voice comes in and you're instantly hooked. He's got a cool timbre to his voice. It's a cool range. It's fun to listen to. And his lyrics are interesting. The way he puts words together, his themes, his ideas, his stories, very cool to listen to. But you really get locked into this ambient groove. And the chorus, you never know, like that gets stuck in your head over and over again. And that's what I like about this album. There's little bits like that keep you coming back for more. Hashtag War on False is the second album, or pound sign if you were born before 1997. Big fiery fuzzy synths open this one, like big propulsions of synths, and they lead to this like funky dance beat. Dhani sounds really smooth and cool and assured on this song. I like the way he sings on this one. And again, instant earworm kind of stuff pops up here and there throughout the song. More hypnotic, fuzzy guitars. And you definitely get the feel for where this album's going by this track. You understand, all right, he's going for this whole ambient kind of fuzzy, modern psychedelic, slightly industrial kind of thing, and it works. It's really fun. Ulfer, Resurrection, again, spacey, hypnotic, but there's lots of layers on this one. Like, this album is full of layers, but this one I feel like it's just like you keep peeling, and it's like an onion. It doesn't end. Not my favorite song on the album, but I can appreciate it, and I dig the vibe again. Downtown Tigers, I love his enunciation on this one. It's the fourth track on the album. And the pace in his vocal is really cool. He's got this patient sort of thing, but he's very detailed and crisp with his voice. Love the production on this song. Sounds like a very ghost-like ambient production. I really like that. Again, slightly industrial, but I like that feeling. I like where he's going with it. The fifth track, London Water. Really cool timpani-esque drums on this one. They kind of march and pound along through the back. His voice again is great. I like the pianos on it. That kind of sprinkle throughout. There's a big rock finish with loud guitars, and a blending of all the voices is really nice. And I love the female vocals mixed in. I think her name was Marikai, is how you pronounce it. But she's on this album a couple of times, and her voice is fantastic throughout. Really love her voice. Summertime Police, I guess you can almost call this song single-worthy because it's slightly shorter and it's got more of a pop 4x4 kind of a rhythm. It's basically about being like 17 years old and looking for something to do. And I like the storytelling on this one. Again, really catchy. Summertime Police, again, sticks in your head. Poseidon, Keep Me Safe. This song was not my favorite on this album. I think if I had to pick one that like was not something I'd go back to, it's probably this one. Again, I understand it, I respect it, but not instantly my cup of tea on this one. Cool vocal effect though. I like what he's doing with his voice on it. That's kind of fun. The Light Under the Door, I would call this one like the most stripped down song, and that's for an album that's just loaded with layers. Maybe this one only has like 6 layers instead of like 16. Really cool track. Digging this one. The chorus is fun, but it's the most straightforward song on the album. I would call it the most less psychedelic song on this album. Track 9, All About Waiting. This is like, I guess you could say, the main single from this album, and it's probably my favorite song on the whole thing. Really fun, really dance beaty, kind of a rhythm going on. Kind of reminds me of The Past is a Grotesque Animal by Montreal, like that whole like dun, 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 over and over again. Really like that. The chorus is instantly fun. Not like it used to be. Like he just did his call and response back and forth thing. Very catchy, cool lyrics. I really enjoy, again, storytelling on this one. His pacing is patient and assured and makes for a really captivating listen. And the last song on this album, Admiral of the Upside Down, is probably another one of my favorites on this. The last 2 songs of this album end with a big finish. The guitar is like really earnestly picked throughout. There's a really echo-laden vocal happening. There's little vocal phrases that are really catchy, again, that bounce back and forth. And it just bursts into this awesome solo at some point. There's like big dry drums. They're not like, full of echo like they had been throughout the album. We're not like have an effect on them. It's got like kind of a slightly garage rock feel on this one, which is pretty cool. There's some nice acoustic shimmering guitars in the background, which for a mostly electric album, it's kind of cool to hear the acoustic guitars popping on this one. And the amazing vocals at the end of this track, all that harmonizing and blending of melodies and lyrics. Very, very beautiful ending to this album. And then it just keeps building and building and building, and then it just kind of stops. It's got this big, dramatic, sharp close. And I dig that. I think it's kind of a cool ending to this album. Overall, it does sound like a cohesive body of work, which I really do enjoy. I think there was a message, an MO on this thing, kind of a point to it. It wasn't just a collection of random songs he had lying around. I think there was like a theme happening here. And this collection was meant to be a body of work. The thing I like about this album most, though, is that it keeps you coming back for more. Like I said before, it's not instantly laid out all on the table for you, step by step. Here's what it is, and when you're done with the song, you're like, oh, that's it. I heard literally everything there is to hear in it. This album isn't like that. And that's what I love about it, because it keeps you coming back. So even some of the songs that I'm not super hot on, I might really enjoy them a couple years from now, because I might catch something in there that I missed the first 57 times I heard it, and then it catches me. That is something that is attributed to really good songwriting. And the fact that you can have people come back for more and hear new things that they didn't hear before really is a testament to being a good songwriter, or a great songwriter, I'd say. So I really enjoyed this album. I really hope he continues this streak. I really hope he puts out more albums under his own name, or even brings back the new number 2. But I really enjoyed hearing Dhani Harrison's first album on his own. And yeah, I'm really bummed that I'm not going to be able to see him on tour this year. He's playing like 5 shows, and they're all spread out all over the place. Can't go to see him. But I have seen him on TV. I think he was on Jimmy Kimmel, so it was pretty cool. And Conan. So he's doing some promotion for it. Yeah, awesome. So Dhani Harrison, In Parallel. I'd probably give this album like a 7 out of 10. Yeah, I'd go with a 7 out of 10. The thing is, it might grow on me and it might be completely different a year now, a month from now, you never know. You never know, you never know. So yeah, that's it. Dhani Harrison in Parallel, out now on Hot Records, H-O-T Records. Highly recommend it if you're into ambient, spacey pop with a fuzziness going on in the background and music that has so many layers that it keeps you coming back to discover what else is in store for something you've heard maybe a couple times, maybe 3 times, maybe 10 times. It's in there. So, Dhani Harrison in Parallel. My name is Giggens. This has been Album Reviews with Dhani Harrison in Parallel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.